Hi everybody, welcome to Math 100. This is a mini term, and so some of you were with me at the beginning of this semester and worked with me through Math 098, and now we're moving on into our 100, and I'm really excited. We're gonna get through 100, and you're gonna have this credit by the time we get to May. Please excuse my voice. I have had some reflux issues, and it has done some crazy things to my vocal cords, and so I sound hoarse, but it'll all be good. We'll survive. All right, so here's some information about me. My name's Valerie Cox. I have two offices because I'm in charge of the STAR Institute. So in addition to teaching your class, I'm also the director of our STAR Institute. I have two offices, one in Decatur and one in Huntsville. I have a phone number that rings in both locations. Email is a great way to get a hold of me. I'm also, those of you that are coming into the 100 right now, that were not with me in 98, I've got a document to join Remind. That's one of the easiest ways to get in touch with me is to text me. So I try to switch off between campuses, but it depends on meetings. But my goal is to be in Huntsville on Mondays and Wednesdays, Decatur on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then Fridays are generally a toss-up. All right, some things I need you to do. And again, those of you that have been in 98 with me have heard this information. You just need to maybe hear it once more. You need to explore the course information tab. That's going to have where you found this video. It's also going to have your syllabus, your calendar, information about netiquette, resources on campus, things like that. Under the announcements tab, I always put a weekly announcement. Usually I do more than one a week, especially when we have a due date midweek. I will send something to remind you of that. I will also send a remind. I will use remind to text you that as well. Explore the content tab. The content tab is where you're going to find your videos, any lecture notes that I may have saved from like an on-campus class. That's going to be under the course content area. And that's split up by chapters. I think I call it chapters or topics. So like I'll have factoring topics, and that'll be the first thing that we're working on. You are going to be accessing your assignments in homework through Alex, and that is going to be through Blackboard. So you're not going to go to alex.com. You're going to go through Blackboard and access your assignments through Alex. And I'll show you Alex in just a minute. All right, our textbook is a Math 98 100 combined workbook. You can get that at the bookstore. You also need an 18-week Alex code if you are new to me. If you were in my 98 course that started in January, your code is fine till the end. You don't need to buy anything new. Alex is the software that's required. You complete all your homework in Alex. You take all your tests in Alex. You do not need a course code because you're going to be logging in through Blackboard, and it'll take you straight to the link. And again, I'll show you some more. I'll show you what Alex looks like in a minute. Here's my grading plan. 30% is going to be your Alex Pie, your homework per se. You're going to have two exams that are going to count 40%, so 20% each. A final exam that counts 25%, and then you're going to have a discussion assignment about midway through that's going to be 5%. And we have the normal grading scale that everyone has on campus for A's, B's, C's, and so on. Specific attendance policy. I don't log attendance each week unless you're not making your due dates. This is an online class, so really basically I'm driven by making your due dates. And generally, we're going to have a due date every week in this class because it is a mini-term class. If I don't hear from you, if you are not meeting your due dates and you have just fallen off the face of the earth, then I might look into administratively withdrawing you or suggesting you withdraw from the course. Because I hate for you to get to the end and then get an F. But that's really, if you do the things and you stay on track like I asked you to do and you stay in communication with me, then that's a lot easier to maintain. Expect to spend about 10 hours a week in Alex, sometimes more, depending on the particular chapter and how many topics it has. That's what I really look at, is how much time you're spending in Alex. If you're on financial aid and you have to drop this course because you're not attending or you just stop doing work, you could get your financial aid suspended, so you need to keep that in mind. Makeup policy. As long as you're in contact with me, I'm generally pretty flexible on your due date if something should happen. I know in this day and time, we're worried about COVID. We have kids that are getting sick, kids that maybe have to go into online, learning, things like that. So the big thing is to stay in communication with me if you have to miss anything. Extensions on homework, a lot of times I'll do that, especially if I see the whole class, especially is struggling with a particular chapter, I'll extend. But again, communication is the key. Where can you get help? As I said before, I'm the director of our STAR Institute, so I'm going to send you to STAR. I am your first line of defense, though. If you have a question, I want you to text me. I want you to email me. You've got lots of ways to get in communication with me. I'm happy for you to come to my office. I'm happy to help you there. I'm happy to hop online and help you do a video conference with you. I'm happy to be very flexible in those areas, and that includes in the evenings and on the weekends. I do not mind that you contact me and ask me questions. I'm expecting it, and I want to hear from you. The other options you have, you can go either campus. We have STAR Institutes. You can schedule in-person appointments from 9 to 5 at each one of those locations. Friday, we're all virtual. We do have virtual appointments throughout the day, and we have virtual appointments at night. So you have lots of options to get help. So that's the information about the Huntsville campus. You can go online and schedule an appointment if you go into your My Calhoun and look for our STAR button, our STAR box. Click on that, and you can go right through and follow the directions, follow the clicks to make an appointment. Also, something that I'm going to mention too, if it's late night, this is in your syllabus. If it's late night or weekends and you can't get me like late night, late, like after 11, weekends, you could use tutor.com. I have a link in our Blackboard shell. You just click on that and it'll send you right to tutor.com. All of these services are free, by the way. You don't pay for anything for these. When you paid your tuition, that covered these. Academic integrity, I'm asking that you read this, those of you that are new to me, and think about that when you're taking your tests and you are taking your final. I toyed with having you come in to take that final. As of right now, I'm going to let you take it on your own. I give you some resources that you can use. You can print out summary pages, things like that. But I don't want you using other websites. I don't want you using other people. It's really not going to be in your best interest to do that. So read through this academic integrity policy, please. It's also, there's a link in your syllabus. Withdrawal policy. If you feel like this is just too much for you and you need to withdraw, you have until April 18th to do that. A lot of people get into this course, and since it's a mini term, the first 2 weeks, you're like, I just can't handle a mini term. I've got to take this in one full term. And that's fine. It doesn't hurt my feelings at all. If you find that that's the case, let me know and I will help you with that process. All right, Alex. Alex is the tool that we're using. The big thing with Alex is it's mastery-based, meaning that you're going to work problems multiple times in order to earn them. You're going to log in through Blackboard. Those of you that were with me in 98, I'm just going to move you into the 100 class, so you don't have to worry about any sort of registration process. You're going to be going right into the 100. For new users, there's a registration process, mainly just filling in information once you click on that Alex link in Blackboard. But there's a document in the first announcement that you can pull up and you can see exactly how to go through that process. So Alex is adaptive. You're going to go in, you're going to complete an initial knowledge check when you first log into Alex. That initial knowledge check needs to be done within the first few days, 3 days at the most of class. Did everyone hear that? Your initial knowledge check needs to be done within the first 3 days of class. That means this weekend you need to be getting that initial knowledge check done, because I have to report attendance. And that is one of your have-tos in order to be marked present for this first week. If you're on financial aid, that could affect that financial aid. So make sure you get that initial knowledge check done. There are 3 things that I am requiring. I want you to come to one of my live orientation sessions, which I'm going to offer on Thursday night. and Sunday afternoon. You have to do your initial knowledge check in Alex, and you have to join Remind. 3 things that need to be done by Sunday. The key with Alex is not to procrastinate, because Alex will take you some time to work through. All right, detailed instructions for logging into Alex are in my first announcement on Blackboard. If you log in through Blackboard, you don't need a course code. So if you email me and you say, Ms. Cox, I need a course code to get in, then I know that you didn't log in through Blackboard. Log in through Blackboard. If you have not gotten your materials, those of you that are coming into 100 right now and weren't with me, there is a 14-day financial aid code that you can use. I've got it listed right here. That will give you access for 14 days. You will still need to purchase that 18-week code from the bookstore in order to continue your work to the end of the semester. Those of you in 98, you should not need a code at all. You should just be moved right over. All right, so Alex, once you go into Alex and you do your initial knowledge check, Alex is going to give you your pie. Your pie may not look like this. Your pie may just have 2 topics in it and nothing colored in, maybe just a little bitty piece colored in. But by the end of the semester, we're going to have a nice, pretty colored pie that's going to be all colored in with all these colors. It's going to look beautiful. That's because each piece of pie pretty much goes with a set of chapters. So sometimes they're bigger. See, some chapters have more topics. The one at the bottom is usually rational expressions. There's a lot there. Radicals is a big slice of this pie. So as we move through, you're going to earn color in this pie by working homework. Once you have gotten your initial knowledge check completed and you get your pie, then just follow Alex's directions, click through, you'll get to this Start Your Path page. This starts your homework. So the first thing that you're going to be working on in this course is factoring. So you're going to be starting some factoring topics. Alex will always give you information. You'll have Start Your Path at the beginning. That will turn into Continue Your Path after you've done your first part, your first topics and homework. Over on this left side, notice it tells me how many topics I have out of how many. It will tell you your due date. It will tell you the chapter you're on. So Alex lets you be organized. It helps you keep up with what's due when. After you click Start Your Page or Start Your Path or Continue Your Path, you'll get an Explain page. And so this particular page is working on sum and difference of cubes, factor in the sum or difference of cubes. So this is like in the textbook. It explains how to do that. You can go through this. You can scroll through it. And then you click on Start when you're ready to start your homework yourself. Notice on the right-hand side, there are a couple of options. This one is videos. You can watch a video over just this particular topic. You could look at the page in a book if you wanted to look at another page. If you have some words in here that you don't understand, this is a dictionary where you can look those up. The little envelope is where you can email me this exact problem. Again, you can also use Remind. You could use Remind and take a picture of the problem. So you take a picture of the screen, or you take a picture where you've written it out on your scratch work and send it to me. And then a lot of times in the evenings, I am watching TV. I'll just pull out my notepad and I will write down, some things to get you started, or if I see something in your scratch work that I see what you're doing right away, I will send that to you. I will send that to you, and we can go back and forth that way. If you need me to hop online and you want to just talk to me in person, in live, I can do that as well. All right, so that was just a quick and dirty orientation session. The full syllabus is, again, under your course information. The full calendar is there. I am happy to answer questions anytime. If you don't hear anything else in this entire video, please hear that I am ready to hear your questions. I am ready to answer your questions. It doesn't necessarily have to be about math. If you have other questions, ask me. And if I don't know the answer, I'll help you find out. So again, using Remind is very helpful when you are sending me questions. Please, if you are not in Remind, you need to join Remind because, again, that's part of your first week attendance. All right, that's the end of my orientation session. I hope everyone has a wonderful, wonderful day, and you have a great semester. We're going to have a lot of fun.